Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and let me join you in welcoming the students here. And I do hope that, well, not after the last presentation, but I do hope that with the time you spend here, you actually do learn something that you can take back to your school. Mr. Speaker, as I rise to make my contribution to Budget 2025, as is customary, allow me to extend thanks to the committed staff of the Ministry of Finance and all other ministries for the hard work that is involved in crafting this, as always, the largest budget. But, Mr. Speaker, let us pause for a moment amidst all the chatter and fanfare surrounding Budget 2025. I rise today not just to provide a critique, but to paint a picture of the budget's reality. A reality that is far removed from the lofty rhetoric of a secure, prosperous, and sustainable Guyana. Beneath the polished presentations, grand promises, lies a document riddled with mismanagement, favoritism, and decisions that benefit a select few, while most Guyanese citizens are left grappling with inequality, stagnation, and frustration. This budget, while bold in numbers, is a disappointment in substance. It fails to provide a vision of sustainable development that includes every Guyanese, regardless of ethnicity, region, or social economic status. It is a budget designed to serve the interests of the powerful and not the needs of the people. Today, I will address the glaring shortcomings in the oil and gas sector, the missed opportunities in public infrastructure, and the troubling patterns of governance that plagues this administration. Mr. Speaker, as we head into the 2025 election campaign season, several alternative versions of history surrounding one of the PPP's so-called transformational projects will be repeated. So permit me to address once and for all the issues surrounding Amaila Falls. In his budget speech 2025, the Minister of Finance made the following statements. The Amaila Falls Hydro Project would have formed a critical element of a comprehensive solution to the problem, which is power. History would record that the Amaila Falls Hydro Project was derailed by the APNU AFC. Otherwise, that project would have been supplying the national grid with 165 megawatts of power currently. Mr. Speaker, since the beginning of this parliamentary session, we, on this side of the House, have challenged the government to bring a motion on Amaila Falls. If, as they like to claim, the project was derailed by the APNUAFC administration, they should have been willing to present the facts for the records. Of course, Mr. Speaker, they have never risen to this challenge. So I like the Parliament records to reflect these facts for the benefit of the nation and for future generations, these sit here, about the disaster which we, the APNU plus AFC administration, saved this nation. The PPP has always informed the country that IDB was supportive of this project. But as always, as I've always said, the devil has been in the details. The opposition during 2011 to 2015 in Parliament, particularly the Lines for Change component, indicated to the people of Guyana that we will reserve our approval until the IDB completed their due diligence. What the Minister of Finance has never informed this House that the due diligence was completed, nor has he ever reported the results of this due diligence process. So allow me to place on record the results of the IDB due diligence, sir. Sir, the IDB due diligence completed their report on the project and presented it to the board. Sir, presented it to the board on March the 19th, 2014. This, sir, is a copy. The board was informed that relevant experts had done extensive work on the Amaila Falls project. The report listed several meetings, sir, at least 12 high-level meetings in report, commencing in March 2010 for a period of 4 years and was concluded in January 2014. So in fairness to the bank, they did their best to make this project viable. But even the best experts, sir, cannot make a rotten apple good. So on the very first page of this report, this is what the IDB conclusion was. The IDB loan, sir, is here, would entail a credit rating of RC7, which exceeds the risk tolerance as defined for all projects. And the bank, the IDB bank, has never approved the loan of this rating. Let me repeat that, sir. The bank, the IDB bank, in the 66 years of their existence, has never approved the project after they did 4 years of due diligence. Sir, a project with such low credit rating as the Amaila Falls project. Sir, the IDB gave this project the lowest, second lowest possible ranking on their scale. Sir, you could only use your imagination, sir, what type of project would get a ranking lower than this, sir. Second lowest ranking on their scale. This is a report, sir. And if you look, and I'll let the people see, sir, this is the highest, this is the lowest, and they're right up there, right there, Amaila Falls. Second lowest ever. So the report was not only done about the made on the financing, but it listed other factors, including issues such as the counterparts involved in the project-specific risk, contractual arrangements, risk, overall risk allocation, cash flow sensitivity. So all of these cumulated are the lowest, second lowest possible rating by the IDB. So for 10 years, the IDB were informed that this project was a non-starter. Yet, every budget, the Minister of Finance would come to this Parliament and present this project as a solution to our power needs. In fact, sir, in an email to the same Honorable Minister of Finance, sir, the Vice President of IDB had this to say to him, and I quote, sir, "As such, the considerations related to the project's credit rating, as well as those related to a palpable threat to Guyana hard-earned jealously and jealously protected fiscal stability, should be taken into account as to whether it is the best alternative for Guyana to continue to pursue financing for this project. This mandates a frank and creative consideration of alternative forms of support for the government of Guyana in this sector." Sir, which other government anywhere in the world would try to saddle their country with a project which independent experts have ruled as unsustainable? Of course, sir, and they would use the same claim that the APNU AFC derailed the project. Sir, the truth is, this country dodged a bullet, sir. And that was the reason when the former President Granger met with the IDB in 2015, they begged him not to touch the project with a 10-foot pole. Mr. Speaker, the APNU AFC did not derail the Amaila project. So it was never, ever on the right track. Mr. Speaker, fast forward to 2025, and they are at it again. Another so-called transformational project. the Wales Gas to Shore project. But you have to give the PPP credit, sir. When the PPP dips their hands in the cookie jar, they don't take out a couple of cookies, they empty the jar. Sir, let me remind, sir, this country, and let me remind the history of the Wales Gas to Shore project, sir. And obviously, sir, and I'm quoting from a media briefing that was held by he who I cannot name, but it was at the State House in April of 2021, sir. And this is the presentation that he made. And these are what they presented to the public. So the offshore pipeline would have cost $570 million. The onshore pipeline would have cost $80 million. The NGL and gas plant would have cost $120 million. Infrastructure would have been $40 million US. So totaling $180 million. So the final studies, which never happened, would have been completed in 2022. So the cost of power from the gas was expected to be 7 US cents. And all components of the project, are written here in black and white, would have been completed by 2024, October last year to be exact. And sir, here is the current status of that project. As we stand, the pipeline costs $1 billion, 55% more, sir. The plant, the power plant, sir, 117% higher. The infrastructure cost, sir, is 157% higher. Sir, and that excludes the 2 new claims, sir. The entire project has been pushed back to the end of 2025. Sir, the entire project cost, according to the government records, sir, has risen to $2.4 billion US, an increase of almost 200%. That, sir, is what they have done. Sir, when they started with this project of $810 million US, the PPP claimed that they would supply power at 7 US cents. Now, with a 200% increase in project cost, not adding on what will cost for the O&M, with the exact same amount of power, sir, that they projected in 2021, they are still claiming that they'll be able to supply power at the same 7 cents, sir, with a project that has increased by 200%. Sir, the maths isn't matching. So here's an open challenge, sir, to the PPP during this debate, sir. They have several minutes. Explain to the people how this can be possible, that a project costs increasing by 200%, how will you get the same cost per kilowatt hour without heavy subsidies and bailouts? Mr. Speaker, moving on. Sir, and of course, sir, they had the Honorable Prime Minister, I must mention him, sir. He will talk about transparency and accountability, sir. To date, 3 years after committing to this very assembly to lay over certain documents, the Honorable Prime Minister are yet to lay over these documents on the project. Came into this assembly, officer and gentleman, will not be leaving with the same title. Mr. Speaker, GPL. Sir, in 2015, GPL was ailing. It was on life support. However, the AP and UAFC administration were not a complaining government, sir. We did not go around the country crying like little children, blaming the PPP for what they did with the company for the 23 years. So they had 23 years dealing with it before we took over. Instead, sir, we rolled up our sleeves. We gave GPL a bolt of energy. We had it functioning and operating in an acceptable manner. Not perfect, sir, but acceptable. The PPP returned to office and did absolutely nothing for 3 years, other than fire competent people, install their friends and family. Sir, and when the bottom fell out, of the boat, they commence emergency spending and still cannot get it right. Mr. Speaker, the PPP will try to defend, and I know my Honorable Indar will try to defend their handling of GPL. We will hear about the challenges the company is facing, including increased power demands, climate change, the Panama Canal, COVID, and of course, sir, the AP and UAFC administration, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Speaker, we agree that demand has increased. That was expected. Both GPL and AP and UAFC government forecast this demand. Our forecast numbers, sir, were eerily spot on. But as per norm, GPL ignored all the previous advice. So in May, 7 years ago, 2018, the AP and UAFC administration commissioned a study in association with the IDB. So, and this is the forecast of our anticipated demand for the DBIS. In 2020, 125, 2021, 133, 2022, 154, 2023, 195, 2024, 210. So this year, the demand was anticipated to be 225 megawatts, sir. Sir, but here are what the actual, according to GPL, demands was. In 2020, was 120. 2021, 136. 2022, 156. 2023, 167. And 2024, 194. Sir, what we're saying, sir, the government was aware of the electricity demands that would be increasing since 2020, but did absolutely nothing. Under the AP and UAFC administration, we left GPL with excess generating power ahead of demand. But the PPP sat back and did nothing for 3 years. Mr. Speaker, and then this is a lesson for you young persons, sir. There's a theory, sir, when you want to fill your pockets, when you want to become a billionaire, the simplest way is to engineer a crisis and then use emergency funding to fix the crisis that you have created. That is exactly what the PPP did with our energy sector. Mr. Speaker, by the end of 2023, after sitting on their hands for 3 years, the system collapsed. And it was time for emergency spending. Poof, sir, just like that, out of thin air, no public spend, no public tender, no assessment. It was announced that GPL were buying 27 third-hand container generating sets in Honduras. A friend and family deal. So then they gave the contract to install the containers, a software company who publicly admitted that they knew nothing about electricity. Next, sir, the PPP found a power ship in Cuba to rent. Sir is interested, sir, June 2018, the same middlemen that some, sir, middlemen approached GPL to rent the exact same power ship. We declined this offer, sir. That time it was in Puerto Rico and was going its way to Cuba. Since it was deemed in 2018 not financially viable. Instead, sir, we purchased our own brand new generators. Lo and behold, sir, lo and behold, the PPP returned to office. The same middlemen, sir, that came to us in 2018 reappeared. And poof, just like that, GPL found it economically viable, sir. Rented not one, but 2 power ships, sir. Sir, last year, GPL was given $18 billion in taxpayers' money. Emergency spending. As I said, there's a theory when you want to become a billionaire, sir. This year, a sum of $18 billion is budgeted. Sir, this has to be compared to GPL under AP and UAFC administration. Not a single penny was given as a subsidy to GPL. Kept the lights on, sir. We kept the lights on. Moreover, not only did we not give GPL a subsidy, sir, GPL commenced repaying loans and subsidies taken under the PPP administration, sir. The company repaid $1 billion a year for each year from 2016 to 2019, sir. And we were able to provide less blockouts. Mr. Speaker, I just want to place on record a simple fact, sir. When the government is professing to have electricity this year, sir, they have not explained what they will do with GPL's in-bill costs. Sir, and this is the cost that GPL have incurred, sir, and if we obviously, so we have a lot of them coming. Maybe one of them would be able to explain, sir. In 2024, sir, November, GPL administrative cost was 5 cents per kilowatt hour. Sir, 1 cent per kilowatt hour was expended on transmission and distribution, sir, and 25% to 30% of electricity generated is lost. Sir, that equates to another 5 cents, sir. Sir, in total, to deliver power to the consumer, irrespective of what generating costs you have, GPL has an inbuilt US 11 cents only added to the cost of generation. Sir, whatever magical cost the PPP arrives at for generation, this 11 cents, sir, has to be 11 US cents. 11 US cents, sir. And I challenge you to come, and you're speaking, to come and dispute that, sir. Sir, moving on. The public sector investment program continues to expand, not in results, sir. Expand in size, but not results. Year after year, projects are delayed, costs overrun, and promises broken. The people of Guyana are tired of waiting. They deserve a government that delivers. Not one that hides behind excuses. Sir, the Ministry of Public Works has received hundreds of billions of dollars over the last 4 years. And yes, sir, we will readily admit that roads have been constructed. Some of questionable quality. Sir, but roads have done, sir, and we applaud you for the roads that you've done, sir. You have reduced people in neighborhoods roads from 2 lanes to single lanes, and you ask them, sir, to single lanes, sir, pedestrian parts, and you tell them to be contented with that, sir. Sir, but always, as I said, sir, the devil is in the details. Sir, let us examine what this ministry has achieved with all the mega projects announced since 2020, sir. Yes, they've done roads. Yes, you've given contractors contracts. Great job, but let us achieve with the mega projects you've done, sir. We got a different story, which clearly demonstrates that the country is not getting value for money. Sorry, I didn't even look at the 2025 promises. So I went back to 2023, 2022, and 2023. So when they launched their great mega project transformational development project portfolio. Sir, and these are the promises made since 2023, sir, has not been delivered, sir, and they're coming for more money. Sir, the office complex, sir, mentioned before, started 2022, listed for 2 years, $7 billion spending. Sir, it's supposed to be finished in 2024, sir. It's still incomplete. The new Damrara Harbor Bridge, awarded in 2022, 2 years construction period. Still incomplete, sir. Sir, Sir, this is the East Bank and East Coast Road linkage, sir. 2022 launched, awarded, 2 years completion program. It's still incomplete, sir. The railway embankment, Sheriff to Orange Nassau, still incomplete. East Coast Road, Belfield to Orange Nassau, still incomplete, sir. The Quarantine Highway, Palmyra, still incomplete. Sir, the Linden Muburu Road, 4 years and counting, still incomplete. Sir, the Parika Goshen Macquarie link, $2 billion, still incomplete, sir. Sue's Dyke, Grove to Mary, Sir Stellings in Kumaka, in PK Mabaruma, incomplete, sir. Ikariku Bottom aircraft airstrips are still incomplete. CGIS, sir. 4 years and coming, still incomplete, sir. Sir, there's a will. Sir, Aubrey Barker Street, sir, still incomplete. Thomas Land, still incomplete, sir. The Bartica Stelling, Cato Hydro, sir, they're all still complete, sir. And there are a lot of work that you promised, and sir, when you add it all up cumulatively, sir, it's over $3 billion, and they're still incomplete, sir. Sir, this year, sir, the Honorable Bishop will get up and tell you that they expended 95% of their PSIP in 2024, sir. So the question must be asked, where is the money going? Sir, and then of course now, have not finished anything. They're coming to build 2 more bridges. Sir, they haven't even finished the ones they started. Sir, they want to build a new airport, and they can't even finish the one they started, sir. Sir, the minister, sir, under the PPP, sir, this ministry should be renamed, sir, the Ministry of Incomplete Projects. Yes, there you go. Sir, on oil and gas, the government's handling of the Natural Resource Fund is akin to a child let loose in a candy store, greedy, short-sighted, and oblivious of the consequences. Oil revenues, which is served as a bedrock for intergenerational prosperity, are instead being squandered on short-term political gains. There is no clear idea to mitigate the volatility of oil prices to protect our economy from the over-reliance on this single source. Mr. Speaker, a responsible government would establish a robust sovereign wealth fund, guided by independent oversight and clear rules of withdrawal. It would invest oil revenues in areas that yield long-term returns: education, healthcare, renewable energy, and infrastructure that benefits all Guyanese. Instead, what do we see? Reckless spending with no vision for the future. So under the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Oil and Gas Unit, I know my honorable friend Sherwin Holder dealt with, and Ricky Ranford dealt with the other national. So this unit has been comatose over the last budgeting period, delivering nothing, simply operating on autopilot or awaiting, sir, the Vice President press conference for directions on how to proceed. So to date, the results of the first 2 audits have not been finalized, and the public informed that the monies owed by Exxon has been remitted to us. So the promised Petroleum Commission has not been established. The revision, sir, of the Local Content Act to correct the loopholes, which we on this side of this house warned them against and they ignored, which we warned them, for the record, you can go back, sir, we warned them, sir, we table amendments, sir, about the rent-to-citizen, sir, and to ensure you guard against that, but they ignored that, sir. They're yet, sir, to table any amendments, sir. Much was made of the new Petroleum Act, and the new bidding rounds under the revised PSA. Much was made, sir. To date, nothing has happened. Several promises were made on studies, gas monetization, baseline studies. To date, sir, nothing has happened. Nothing has been done in keeping with their manifesto promise, sir, to renegotiate the existing Stabrook contract. No policies, sir, no policies to ensure that our indigenous brothers and sisters benefit from the oil sector. Mr. Speaker, to whom much is given, much is expected. The new government come November is set to launch, sir, on this side here, an ambitious integrated urban development and modernization plan targeting the entire structure of our urban and regional areas. The overall strategy of the plan will coordinate mega projects through a structural, inclusive approach, encompasses strategies, principles, policy directions, and initiatives, regardless of their size and scope and impact on the structural space. The objective is to disrupt the unwise and unsung practice of a few people locking themselves in a back room, creating projects without the requisite consultation with relevant supporters, without rigorous feasibility studies being conducted to guide the final decision.
To guide you, you might need an extension to continue.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the honourable member be given 5 minutes to conclude his presentation.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Honourable MP, you have 5 minutes to conclude.
Major areas of focus are under our new government, sir. Georgetown, in collaboration with the Georgetown City Council, our plan aims to complete the development and modernization of the capital. This includes upgrading the drainage system, redeveloping and upgrading recreation areas, improving waste management through waste energy conversion, enhancing traffic management, and the construction, sir, of multi-story car parking facilities. Sir, in Linden, the plan includes to transform Linden into a major economic and commercial hub in collaboration, sir, with the Linden City Council. This transformation includes the creation of a free zone, the establishment of a transportation hub along the Linden-Lethem Highway, development of a deep water port facilities for containers and product movement, and the construction of new roads to support the timber and logging industries. In New Amsterdam, the plan includes upgrading and expanding the internal road networks, building new wharfs to serve the Berbice River, introducing a new river ferry for goods and passengers transportation in collaboration with the NA City Council. So for other townships, the plan also involves major upgrades to ensure better economic activity across all townships. Sir, we will construct a new transportation network, introduce a state-of-the-art, state-run bus service with scheduled services linking major residential areas, as well as subsidized transit for the elderly, school children, and essential public sector employees. Sir, we will construct, sir, the Guyana Orbital Highway, construct a ring road network linking Linden, Purika, Georgetown, and Berbice, including, sir, a light rail system similar to the London Orbital Network. And in the transmission and distribution network, complete and upgrade, sir, the transmission and distribution network or the DBIS system. Sir, reducing technical and commercial losses by at least 20%, sir. Bridges, sir, we will build bridges linking communities such as Kokwani, Madia, Letem, etc. Sir, we will develop new regional airstrips at Linden, Essequibo, Barbies, and Letem to serve passenger and cargo hubs, sir. Sir, and we will invite existing oil operators to commence discussions on a more equitable distribution of our oil resources. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2025 paints a disheartening picture of this administration priorities. It is a budget that entrenches inequity, perpetuates mismanagement, and it serves the interests of a few at the expense of the many. It is not a budget for a secure, prosperous, and sustainable Ghana. It is a budget for division, exclusion, and short-term political gain. The people of Guyana deserve better. They deserve a government that listens, delivers, and cares. They deserve leadership that invests in their future, protects their resources, and builds a nation that works for all. Only then can we fulfill the promise of a Guyana that is truly secure, prosperous, sustainable for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, in 10 short months, sir, the people of Guyana will have that government, sir. Sir, I thank you, and I end by telling everyone, better must come.